Sherry said that if we don't have the hearing on her girl that transferred to Franklin County today, she loses her bed at Nexus. So her and Tony are still going to get on and ask you to grant bonds on it so that she can get to Nexus. So she's not here. How are we going to get her to Nexus? Because she's in Franklin County. So this is why I told them that they had to talk to you about it, because I don't have that information. And maybe Chelsea can help us with the other side of that.
All right.
Oh, she'll be back in Collin County.
Okay. Got it. All right, so we need she in the jail. We got the detention center. Who's her defendant? He's not on here. We could do that first, I guess. There we go. All right, we're going to do that. Gregory Stevenson first, I think.
Good morning, Judge.
How are y'all? Jail's not here yet. I'm missing one thing. Here it is.
Good morning, Judge.
Are you? Can we have Mr. Stevenson first?
Yes, Judge. Stevenson? Whichever one's Stevenson.
All right, it's file number 1279-2021, and it's also cause number 377-2022. It's a writ filed on behalf of Mr. Stevenson. And did you want to call your client or?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Stevenson, if you would raise your right hand and be sworn. You swear or affirm testimony about to give be truth, whole truth, nothing but truth, stuff you got.
Yes, sir, I do.
All right. Will you please, thank you, Judge. Will you please state your full name?
Gregory Lewis Stevenson.
And Mr. Stevenson, where were you living at the time this offense was alleged to have occurred?
1602 Vantuli Parkway, apartment, Vantuli Parkway, apartment 1602.
Okay. And you have been charged with an assault, family violence, class A misdemeanor. Is that correct?
Allegedly, yes, sir.
Allegedly, right. And you're also allegedly charged with a burglary of a habitation, but that's not in this court. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, currently, your bond is set at $25,000. Is that right, Mr. Stevenson?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And are you asking the judge to lower that bond today?
If he would be kind enough, yes, sir, I am.
Okay. Now, the judge has to consider a couple of things, a few things in order to lower a bond. And one of those is if you'd be able to make it to your court appearances. Where would you be living if you're able to bond out?
4805 Richardson in Fort Worth, Texas.
Okay, and would that be with your grandmother?
Yes, sir, it will be.
All right. And how would you be able to get to court from Fort Worth to McKinney?
I have my own transportation.
All right. And so you wouldn't have any problems making it to your court hearings?
No, sir, not at all.
Okay. We also have to consider as far as whether you'd be a flight risk, meaning that you would escape the jurisdiction if you were on bond. Now, if you're living in Fort Worth, where were you working at the time you were arrested?
I was working here in Plano at Legacy Willow Bend Community Center on Ohio Drive.
Do you know if you still have that job?
As far as that I know of, yes, sir, I do. My supervisor was saying that once I get everything taken care of, that I should be able to return back to work.
Okay. Now, if you were unable to return back to work at that job, would you be looking for another job here in the Metroplex?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you have family here in the DFW area?
Yes, sir. My kids,
Okay. How many kids do you have?
3,
3. And how old are they?
15, 14, and 14.
Okay. All right. And do you also have acquaintances and friends here in the area?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you have extended family that also live in DFW area?
Just immediate family.
Okay. And who would they be?
My grandmother, my mom, my 2 sisters, my aunt, uncle, and nieces and nephews.
All right. And did you grow up in this area?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, the complaining witness in this case is Angelica Hooper. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And would you be able to promise the judge today under oath that you would stay away from Angelica Hooper during this period that you're on bond?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you and Miss Hooper are not married or anything like that, right?
No,
Okay.
not at all.
And don't have any children together?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. And are you asking the judge to lower that bond to $3,000 today?
If he would, yes, sir.
Okay. And would you be relying on family and friends to raise that money to bond you out?
My family or my job. Well, I mean, once I get back to work, I mean, however I can pay it, I'm willing to pay to get up out of here so I can get back to working and taking care of my kids.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Stevenson. Pass the witness.
Does the state have any questions?
Yes, just very briefly, Your Honor. Mr. Stevenson, I'm just going to ask you a few questions. Just to make sure I understood and clarify, what were you explaining about your job? Did you have a job was it in Plano?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that a job that you have that you can go back to, or were you unsure about that?
My supervisor told me once all this been taken care of, I should be able to return back to work. So as far as I know of, I still have my job.
And then you stated that the victim for this case, for the assault family violence case, is Angelica Hooper. And you understand that there's an emergency protective order out where you cannot have any contact with her, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And the same, you also have another charge pending, a burglary of a habitation felony. You're aware of that?
I kind of am, but I don't understand it because it states that it was on the address that I was living at.
And you understand that location, that home, is also the home of the same victim, Angelica Hooper, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So you have both of these cases pending, and you're telling the court that if you were to be released, that you would be able to come to any court settings from the Fort Worth location and have transportation?
Yes, ma'am, I would.
No further questions for the defendant, Your Honor.
Anything else from this defendant?
No, Your Honor.
Are you rest?
Defense rest, Judge.
All right. Does the state have anything else to add?
Yes, Your Honor, just for the record for the court, there is the burglary of habitation charge that is going before the grand jury today, the 25th. And then the state's concerns are just Mr. Stevenson does have prior criminal history, including assaultive offenses and juvenile history as well, going back several years. So that is a concern to the state as well.
Okay. Anything else?
Not from the defense, Judge.
Okay. What I'm going to lower the bond to $2,500, which is probably pretty probably still even a little bit high for a misdemeanor, but I think that's probably a reasonable bond on a case like this. So, and you also are ordered to stay away from Miss Hooper and follow the protective orders in place. Obviously, if you violate that protective order, that's another criminal offense and it'll violate everything. You'll be back in jail. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Judge. May I be excused?
Yes. See you later.
Thank you, Judge.
Well, you live right. So it's Tommy. Tommy's on here. Daniel's not on here yet. When you're going to do a real quick plea.
Wendy
Who's
Brown?
on?
Brown?
Brown? Yes, Brown. Suitcase, what? I have one. Okay, just one case. All right, assault case. We're waiting for your attorney to get hooked up here. I think he's there now. All right, Tommy, if you can hear me, you're muted. Tommy, you are muted if you can hear me. We can't see you, but I see you on there. He might, you might need to reconnect. Yeah, tell him to log out and then re-log in. Try it again.
All
There
right.
we go.
Yeah, Judge, I could hear you, but I was getting a notification that just said the host won't let you unmute. I didn't know how to tell you.
Yeah, a lot of times it just shows your picture, but doesn't actually have the video.
Right.
Fix on that. So we have to start over. Anyway. All right, Ms. Brown, are you ready?
Yes.
Judge, can I just tell her something real quick?
Sure.
Ms. Brown, I'm Thomas Ashworth. We've spoken before. You know, I'm Daniel Lewis's law partner.
Yes. Nice
Okay.
to finally meet you. That's
You as well. I don't know if Daniel told you that we're in the middle of a trial, so I'm just standing in for him today. And I'm going to proceed as your attorney for the purpose of the plea, as long as that's okay with you.
appreciative. Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
And I'll vouch for him. He probably won't mess this up.
Thanks, Judge.
If you would raise your right hand and be sworn. You swear or affirm testimony about to give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but truth, so help you God.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is your true name Virginia Pauline Brown?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand in this case you are charged with assault?
Yes.
And it looks like you and your attorney worked out a plea agreement for 20 days in jail with credit for at least 35 days. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You'll be time served as of right now, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. To the charge of assault, how do you plead?
Guilty. Nulla contender.
Well, they want guilty or not guilty, so they're going to go with guilty. All right. I accept plea guilty, find you guilty, sentence you to 20 days in jail. You'll get credit for 35 days. The extra 15 days will take take care of any court costs. You'll be time served as of right now, okay?
Yes, appreciate
Do you
that.
have any questions about anything?
Not at this time.
Okay. Good luck. Thank you all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thanks, Les. Enjoy your day.
We have Catherine Haywood.
Okay.
What's she there for?
Sent these in to the Denver file.
Are we ready for those? What all we have left?
Yes, I sent these.
We have Sherry Adams also.
Yes, she's on the one where the sent her.
We don't have the inmate.
Correct. Would like to approach you for bonds because
Gotcha. Could we have, say, Sire,
Sierra.
Sierra?
Good morning.
for that.
All right, so we need Catherine Haywood, right? Yes, meet us here. All right. Are y'all ready? This is Jennifer Rose Sear, is that right?
Yes,
Your Honor.
If you would raise your right hand and be sworn. You swear or affirm testimony about to give you truth, the whole truth, nothing but truth, so if you got.
I do.
And I do have a copy of the mental health assessment, and I will consider it for the purpose of hearing only, and you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Jennifer, for the purposes of this hearing, I have to demonstrate that you have a chronic mental illness. Tell the court what your previous diagnoses have been.
Starting when I was 29 years old, doing the math, that's more than 13, 14, almost 15 years ago. I was diagnosed with ADD as an adult, and shortly thereafter with depression and anxiety. I've been taking prescription medication for those conditions through this whole period of time, and 4 years ago was diagnosed with PTSD after going through some issues when I lived in Tulsa, Oklahoma with an ex-boyfriend who started stalking me.
Okay.
Continued to cyber stalk me.
So definitely major depressive disorder and PTSD is correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you do seek medication and psychiatric help when you're not in jail. Is that correct?
That's correct. I also see a psychologist weekly.
Okay. You have not been able to see this psychologist weekly since you've been in jail. Is that correct?
That is correct.
You have not gotten the medicines that you normally are prescribed since you've been in jail. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Your family has worked out a position for you at UBH where you would, if the judge grants this mental health bond, you would leave here and go right into a treatment facility. Are you prepared to do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you understand that if you're granted a mental health bond, that you will have to check in weekly with Tony Fox, check in weekly with me, and appear monthly as ordered by Judge Baxter so that he can monitor your progress and make sure that there's no problems?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you ever been arrested before?
No.
Okay. Is the alleged victim of this offense your adult mother?
Yes.
Okay. Are you prepared to meet with all of the terms and conditions of a mental health bond? And are you asking for one in the hopes that you can be restored to a better place of mental health?
Yes, I am.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
Does the state have any questions?
Yes, Your Honor. And forgive me, how do you pronounce your last name?
Here?
Dear. Okay. Ms. Sear, I'm just going to ask you a few questions. So I understand if you were to be released, you would go to UBH and be a part of the treatment program there, correct?
Yes, I understand it's an inpatient program initially.
Do you know about how long you would be there at that inpatient treatment?
I do not.
But you're willing to go there and participate and abide by any rules that they have for that treatment program?
Yes, ma'am. On the advice of the doctors and staff at UBH.
Have you been treated by at UBH before?
I have in 2 different outpatient programs.
But not in inpatient?
I've been treated for inpatient care at Medical City McKinney and then released to outpatient care at UBH.
When was the last time that you were in inpatient care?
Over Thanksgiving weekend this past year.
And how was that treatment? Was that helpful?
Yes, ma'am.
So going to the root of the offense, it's an assault of elderly or disabled. You said that that victim is your mother, correct?
That's correct.
And I believe she's about 70 years old. Is that accurate?
71.
And where were you living at the time of this offense?
At her residence.
So you were living there, is that in Anna, Texas?
That's correct.
So if you were to be released and then go to the UBH treatment program, where would you go once you complete treatment?
That is still in negotiation. I would be looking for alternative place of residence.
Okay, so you do not plan to go back and live with your mother?
That's her call. And I've not been in communication with her. So I feel like it's her house and it's her decision whether or not that's possible.
Okay. Is there any sort of relationship where you're a caretaker for your mother?
No, ma'am.
And you do understand that it's an assaultive offense that you're currently charged with, correct?
I understand, yes.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
No further questions, Your Honor.
You rest?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything else from the state?
Yes, Your Honor. The state would just move to admit State's Exhibit 1 to the court. I've presented to the court to defend the counsel.
And I have reviewed it. It's a police report.
And then just lastly, the state's concern as well is within the, I'm sorry. But yes, this just moved to admit State's Exhibit 1.
Right. It's admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Do you rest after that?
Yes, rest.
And then you can argue if you have any argument.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. The state is just opposed in the sense that this offense is assaultive in nature. It's an assaultive offense, especially against an elderly person being her mother at the age of 71. And then also the other concern is within the MHA, just specifically in the portion directed at asking about the patient's current status, that was marked yes, indicating that there is decompensation or suicidal or homicidal ideations or thoughts there. So that part is concerning to the state. For those reasons, the state would be opposed.
Well, and I understand that. One concern I have is that it seems like you have more of a drinking problem than you do a mental health problem, but they go together. But I think the best thing we do right now is get you into the UBH program and see if they can help you. So I'm gonna release you on bond today, but order that you finish the UBH inpatient program and any aftercare program. If you don't finish the program, or if you leave early, or if you get out and they put you in an aftercare program, you decide not to follow the rules of that program, you're gonna be violating your bond and you'll be back in jail, okay?
Yes, sir.
But the main thing is to get this drinking thing taken care of, and then get moved on to the mental health issues and make sure those things are taken care of. You're gonna have to, I just realized we don't have Tony on here. I'm getting her in here right now. We forgot.
Poor Tony.
So we forgot you, Tony.
Judge forgot you.
Nobody missed you apparently, so. But we're gonna release Miss Sire for you to help monitor her. She's gonna go to UBH for a little while and then whatever aftercare program she has. But I was just telling her that she needs to call you every week and talk to you, let you know how she's doing. Make sure you sign an authorization so they can get your records from the facility so they know how you're doing. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And then what you'll do, you'll come see me once a month. I'm not sure when that will be because right now we're kind of doing a COVID thing again where we're not actually having you come in person.
Right.
But I will know how you're doing because Tony and them will be reporting to me. Okay.
Okay.
Did you have anything else you wanted to tell her, Tony?
Jennifer, I'm working with UBH and with your, with Julie, and we're getting it all set up for you to go this evening. Julie's going to pick you up and take you straight to UBH, okay?
That sounds good. Thank you. I
All right.
appreciate your work.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you, guys.
See you soon.
Thank you.
All right. So we need Mito. Sean who? Sean Reckley. Okay.
Okay.
With Mr. Reckley. Is you Mr. Reckley?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. And did you want to call your client testify?
I will briefly, Your Honor.
All right. If you would raise your right hand and be sworn. You swear or affirm testimony about to give you the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
And I do have a copy of the mental health assessment.
Thank you. Mr. Reckley, can you please state your full name for the record?
Sean Ryan Reckley.
And how old are you?
I'm 21.
Okay. Now, Mr. Reckley, have you been diagnosed with a mental illness in the past?
Yes.
And what was that diagnosis?
Anxiety, depression, bipolar, and PTSD.
Okay. Are you currently receiving medications in the jail?
I was, but they took me off of all my medication cold turkey. They didn't really give me a reason why, but I was, yes.
Has that had some negative impacts on you?
The medication was helping until they took me off my medication.
Now, you and your parents have come up with a plan for where you will go if you're released on a mental health bond, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you'll be going to the Greenhouse Treatment Facility in Grand Prairie, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And your parents are arranging that through insurance. And is it your understanding that if the court was to grant this, that you would be released only to treatment as soon as a bed was available, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. After that, you understand that if the court releases you on a mental health bond, that once you're out of treatment, you will have certain reporting requirements. You will have to report in to the court at least once a month, and you'll have to contact the office with Ms. Fox weekly. You understand
Yes.
that? Okay.
Yes, sir.
That's all been explained to you, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You also understand at some point you may be called to come to court and you will need someone to bring you to court. Do you have transportation?
Yes, sir.
Have your parents committed to helping get you back to court?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's see. Your parents all live in this area, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you would be living with them when you're out of treatment, correct?
Yes, sir.
Let's see. Have you received mental health treatment in the past for your anxiety, depression, and bipolar diagnosis?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you understand that as a condition of any bond, you're going to be required to comply with that treatment directly, which means No deviations. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your mother, excuse me, your mother's a nurse, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And she is aware of the medications that you would be required to take and would be able to administer those and monitor the administration of those, correct?
Yes, sir. She has been for a while.
Okay. Now, is there anything you're unclear about here? If the court finds that you have a mental illness, mental health need, that you're in need of treatment, and that there's a treatment plan in place, is there anything about this that you don't understand if you get this bond that you're going to be required to do that you don't think you can accomplish?
No, sir. I understand.
Okay, I'll pass the witness.
What's the name of the treatment? Is it Treehouse?
It's the Greenhouse Treatment Facility, and it's in Grand Prairie.
Okay, there's some reference to Treehouse in the.
I think people have confused the two, but it is the Greenhouse.
Greenhouse. Okay, all right. Does the state have any questions?
Yes, just briefly, Your Honor. Mr. Reckley, where were you living at the time of this offense, or in December of 2021?
I was living with my parents.
And your mother was also administering and monitoring your medications at that time?
Yes, ma'am.
But currently, while in jail, you are not receiving medications, but you had been.
Yes, ma'am. I had been, but they stopped.
Okay. And so you believe, again, if you were to be released, that you will be able to be compliant with medications and follow a treatment plan?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor.
Anything else from the defendant?
I have nothing further, Your Honor.
Does the state have anything else to add?
Yes, Your Honor, just briefly, I'd like to read the criminal history into the record, if I may. There is, in October of 2020, the defendant was placed on deferred probation for possession of marijuana greater than 4 ounces, less than 5 pounds in Collin County, and also placed on deferred probation in October 2020 for possession of controlled substance penalty group 2, again in Collin County. And it looks like both of those probations were ongoing at the time of this offense. And then the defendant has just had, looks like 2 Class C liquor violations, being consumption by minor and public intoxication, since those offenses in 2020 as well. And that is all.
Anything else?
Nothing further from the state.
Any argument from the state?
At this time, the state would just, based on the treatment plan and criminal history, just defer to the court.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Reckley, I'm going to get you out on bond today. We need you to follow the rules he said you're going to follow. Get into the treatment program, do exactly what they ask you to do. If there's an aftercare program, make sure you do the aftercare program. If you don't do it and strictly follow it, you'll be in violation of your bond. You go back to jail, okay?
Yes, sir.
Tony's getting ready to talk to you here in a minute. You're going to have to call Tony every week and let her know how you're doing, provide her access to your records so she can monitor your progress. You will come see me once a month. Right now, we're not doing that because of COVID, but we'll, at some point, resume having you come see me once a month. When you come see me, expect to be drug tested because you have a drug issue that you take care of right now, okay?
Yes, sir.
And if you have anything in your system other than what you're supposed to have in your system, you'll be in violation of bond also, okay?
Yes, sir.
Tony, do you want to talk to him a little bit?
Hey, Sean, I just want to let you know that when you get released, you should be released with a folder. That folder is going to have my contact information in there. You'll need to call me tomorrow. Let me know that you made it okay to the treatment facility. And then we'll kind of go from there, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Do I have to find my own transportation or?
No, we should have that all set up with your parents. I'm verifying all that again, just crossing our T's a second time, just to make sure everything's set.
Yes, ma'am.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Your Honor, may we be excused?
Yes, see you later.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. I need Tony and Sherry. Okay. And Wendy. Wendy didn't leave yet. This is for Ashton Rose Jameson. Apparently this Ashton Rose Jameson got shipped to another facility.
Freestone County, yes, Judge, and I've got a problem in that, okay, it's Wendy, I was asking Anthony, because I thought he was going to be doing them, if he would agree.
He's got people.
I'm sorry?
He has people.
Oh, well, sorry, I thought he was the one. So Wendy, I asked him if he would agree. He said he'd look at it. She's got a bed at Nexus. She'll lose it if we have it Thursday because it's not, I mean, it's Thursday morning, right, Tony? It's set for 6:30 Thursday morning. So, you know, moving it to Thursdays, I mean, I can do it, but it jacks with the whole plan. And the whole idea is get her help. I mean, she's getting into services with LifePath, get her in on her meds, get her sober, and then maybe we can deal with these cases.
Do y'all have a problem, save a problem with her going to Nexus on Thursday morning?
Your Honor, it's not necessarily that we have a problem with her going to Nexus. I think they're just concerned, I mean, how is it going to work with her in the other county? Is it Freestone, or would she even be released there? How would the release and transition from the other county work? And then just our main opposition, we do think it's important for her to receive treatment, but she.
Mindy's raising her hand.
Okay.
Apparently Mindy knows.
The jail said that they would have her back here today. They're having her transferred back so
There-
that.
She's on her way back here today.
Because just otherwise, Your Honor, I mean, state's position just generally is that she needs treatment. That'd be helpful. This she
Right.
just have
Well,
quite
yeah,
the
but you
criminal
also
history.
understand Nexus is not a lockdown facility. It's a, if I decide I want to leave, I can leave facility. If she does that, she's going to be in violation of her bond and we'll throw her back in jail. But what I was thinking, we give her this one shot at the Nexus bed, see how she does, and order that she get treated at Nexus and any follow-up care with Nexus if they wanted to have some follow-up care, and then
And LifePath, of course.
and then if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, then what's her charge anyways? Drug charges?
She's got 3 charges. One is a drug charge, and it's her second drug charge. I believe her first one was a drug charge. She did time on that one. She's got a forgery and possession of fraudulent ID. Those 2 went together, and then they found the drugs on her. But I mean, she told me when I visited her, first thing she said is, I screwed up and I need help. Jail didn't do, I mean, going to state jail didn't do me any good.
When she said she screwed up, she's saying she got caught. Is that what is that how she screwed up?
Well, she screwed up because she's back in, I mean, she committed new offenses.
Oh.
I mean, I can't, you know, I can't, that's what she said to me.
Okay, great. Well, here's what we'll do. I'll go ahead and give PR bonds, get her in Nexus at 6 a.m. on Thursday morning. If she leaves Nexus before she's supposed to, we'll come find her.
Absolutely.
We'll send Chad out.
Yeah, Chad's a good one.
Yeah.
Take it, tell him to take his purple pen with him.
Okay. And then when are you going to talk to her while she's in Nexus? Do you get to talk to him?
Me or Tony?
One of y'all.
Usually I do not.
Tony,
because
you'll talk to her before she goes, won't you?
I will make a point of that. Yes. I will ask Joseph to meet with her over at
Okay. Just make sure she knows the rules. She has to call y'all every week if she can, and then come see me once a month once she gets out of the Nexus program. And then hopefully it works this time. But
I hope.
I hope. Now, Tony, you get periodic updates on her, don't you? I mean, when they're in Nexus?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm hoping she's gonna get into sober living after that and you know, and she's got a lot of things to do this for, but you know, I'm hoping it's gonna work.
Okay. I'm
So-
going to release her on a PR bond with
Thank
those
you, Judge.
conditions, but she won't be released until Thursday
Thursday.
morning in time to get, who's gonna take her over? Is Nexus coming to pick her up or how are we getting there?
Life Path System's going to transport her.
Okay, sounds good. All right, any questions? We'll see y'all then.
I
Thank
do
you.
have a quick question. Wendy, are you the one doing these hearings now or is Anthony? Because I'm lost.
Tony, I was just filling in today.
Okay. Okay, I'll get Tony then.
She just be nice.
You know, I just want to make sure I follow the rules. Thank you.
Okay, see y'all
Thanks.
later. Thank